fish and corn chowder. If you've never had it, you're missing out. It's easy to make, and I love this recipe. I'm Clint, and I like to cook. You guys come along with me. I'm going to show you how I make it. Okay, so I've had my pan heating up on the stove for a couple minutes. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to start melting that down. Stir that around just a little bit, kind of let that get all good and melted. Now that our butter has melted down, I'm going to add 1 medium onion chopped, 2 large carrots chopped, and 2 stalks of celery chopped there. And I'm just going to stir that around, and we're going to cook that on about a medium heat until it's somewhat tender. It usually takes about 7 to 10 minutes or so. So we'll let the vegetables cook down for just a minute. While the vegetables are cooking, we'll go ahead and throw in a little bit of salt and pepper there. Stir that around, get that seasoned. We've got our vegetables cooked down pretty tender, about the way we want them. So we're going to add 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika and 3/4 teaspoon dried thyme. And we'll work that in there and let that kind of cook in there for about a minute or so. Now I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, and I just want to blend that in. I don't want to let it get too hot. I don't want it to burn. I just want to mix that in with that, kind of make it a little bit of a roux, because that's what's going to thicken this up towards the end there. And I've got this on about a medium low right now, so I'm not going to let it get too hot. So we'll continue stirring that for probably just a couple minutes or so and get that worked in well. We got our flour worked in there good, so I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cups of vegetable broth. And I'm going to turn the heat up, and I want to bring this to a low boil. Just don't let it scorch the bottom. I like to keep stirring that just to make sure it doesn't scorch. So we're going to continue stirring that around until we get to a low boil. I've just about got that up to a boil, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some russet potatoes, and that's roughly about 2 pounds of chopped up russet potatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and work that in while this is getting hot. And we're going to let this continue to boil for a low boil for probably 15 to 20 minutes or so. So we'll let that continue cooking. So that's been boiling just a little bit. The potatoes are starting to get just about right. You want to cook them till they start getting soft, but you don't want them mushy. So we've got them to that point. So I'm going to go ahead and add 3 cups of whole kernel corn. And we'll just work that in there. And I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. And we're going to let that cook in there for 3 to 4 minutes or so. I'm just going to continue stirring that and let that heat back up to a boil. Just continue stirring so it doesn't burn. The last ingredient I'm going to add is 1.5 pounds of fish fillet. You can use cod, the sway, which is a catfish, but I am using flounder today. And I've just cut it up in just some small chunks. And I'm going to let this come back up to just a slow boil. And we'll let that fish cook for probably 10 minutes or so. It won't take it long. They're small chunks. You can always take your piece out and check it and see if it's trying to flake just a little bit. So we'll give that a few minutes and let that finish cooking. All right, guys, it's time to get a little bit of this in our bowl. I'll tell you what, this smells delicious. This is going to be hard to beat. If you guys hadn't tried this, you need to make sure you try it, because it is delicious. I'm going to add some cheese on that. We're going to add a couple pieces of chopped up bacon and some green onions. And there you have it, guys. Hope you give this recipe a try. Let me know what you think about it. It's very, very delicious. I know you're going to enjoy it. Thanks for watching. God bless.